Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Tingles. How am I on this wonderful day? I'm alright. Yeah, I'm alright. Not a lot going on, to be honest. Yeah, I'm doing alright. I hope that you're doing good. It's actually been incredibly rainy here today. It's gone through like lovely periods and then all of a sudden torrential downpour for like half an hour to an hour and then lovely again. Which has been a bit weird. I have done some stuff as I am wont to do. So let's go through that real quick. First things first, we have some level 100s. Finally. Because it turns out my reason for not going to level 100 got patched. So historically, the reason why we didn't go up to level 100 was that for Wondrous Tales, in order to get the like harder stuff in Wondrous Tales, the only thing that you had to do was get a class up to max level. And it didn't matter what max level it was, you get it up to max level, you've unlocked the like current difficulty content for Wondrous Tales. Doesn't matter what you've actually got unlocked. They've since patched it, so it's now goes off of your most recently completed MSQ finale for an expansion. So it's basically going off of the most recent expansion you finished. So in my case, the highest content that it could bring up is Endwalker. I leveled up to 100, got a Wondrous Tale, which I've already turned in, and it was no different than the A Realm Reborn one. So, I don't know. But yeah, we've got stuff up to 100 now. Hey, Gwydion, how you doing? I deliberately did Paladin, because I don't want to play Paladin anymore. That's it. I don't like Paladin. It's probably my least favorite of the tanks. Just for my playstyle, I don't like it. I think it has a lot of utility in parties, though. White Mage and Scholar I got up because Scholar I also get Summoner, and White Mage is what one of my retainers is, so I can now get both my retainers up to level 100. Heresy, because I don't like Paladin. Hey, you didn't even get it past A Realm Reborn. The issue I have with Paladin is until I think it's Heavensward that it gets Clemency, so it gets a heal, but that heal isn't part of its main combo. Unlike all the other tanks which get healed as part of their 1-2-3 combo, Paladin doesn't get that until Stormblood, where instead of it being the 1-2-3, it gets the Atonement combo, which gives HP back. People agree with you, therefore I am wrong. I mean, again, I think it's a very useful tank to have, utility-wise. I just don't like it compared to Warrior or Gunbreaker or Dark Knight. I do think my favorite tank is Warrior because Unga Bunga hit buttons. You're doing alright, thanks. Looking to do some tattoo shopping in your town for your first. Ooh, I was actually thinking about tattoos just before I set up stream as well. It has been... it has been a long-term thought of getting like a pixelized bleeding heart on my wrist because video game, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So. But my week's been good. I do see that I am outnumbered on the paladin debate. Hi Kaina, how you doing? Tattoos are an issue. You can have even numbers and you can never just have one. You have a very specific idea but don't have the specific design bits worked out yet. Fair enough, yeah. You can't have even numbers, so minimum 3. Ah. Yeah, the thing for me is, like, the only tattoo that I've ever thought I would get, and I've thought about it since I was a teenager, was, like, a video game bleeding heart on my wrist, because it's got a lot of different, like, there's a lot of meanings packed into that one image. But also getting the inside of your wrist tattooed fucking sucks. Because of all the, like, tendons and stuff there and all the blood vessels. You want to get a bee on your inner forearm, unsure if honey or bumble yet, and the stripes will be the pride flag colours. It's a pun play on a meme though, pride and you love bees, so win-win-win. Nice! The B is for bees in regard to LGBT, yeah. You've thought about tattoos before, but you don't know if you can have them now. That, in your case, yeah, you may not be able to have them because of your health conditions. Anyway, now that I've done all that, so we've got some levels. Those who are eagle-eyed may have already spotted it. I've been grinding out the different colored candies. So as you can see, I have 76 of the lemon candies at the minute. That is half of what I still need. But I have got so I have completed all of the tank Mandeville relics. So we are now on to DPS. No, healers. We're now on to healers for Mandeville relics because of the way that I'm working through them on the sheet that I use. And I am up to Ninja. On the different colored candies. So I need to do Samurai onward. Yeah. So I need 140 of each of these 3. And I need another 40 of these bitter memories of the dying. That's not going to be an issue. That's easy to get. These are just time sinks. These are an issue because you only get these from doing Castrum in Southern Front or by doing the Crystal Tower Alliance raids. And very few people seem interested in doing Castrum at the minute. It's very annoying. Anyway, we're going to start today by ranking up with everybody to rank 7, and then I can jump back into Pandæmonium. After, am I glad to see you? Haven't made much headway on our Gadgersura problem, but let me tell you about the rest of it. Like I said, no tearful reconciliation or nothing, but having folks at the Mayhene has been giving us peace of mind. between our little outfit in Kankana's contacts, we've got every sort of adventure you could ever need. Ogle's been stopping by when she can too. She's gotten mighty good at riding. I think she's got the instincts of a racer. Once Ogle finds her groove, she's unstoppable. There's no doubt she's been setting a great example for our recruits. So much so that even the Radiant Host's been asking us for guards and lookouts to patrol the roads. Works out in our favour, seeing as we'll be the first to know if Akala ever decides to... Boss! Boss! Right on cue. We just got word. A whole mob of Gagasuras closing in on us, and I don't think it's because they got wind of our deal on lassies or nothing either. They'll be here any moment, boss. What do we do? Kassa, go and find Ogle at Palaka's stand and have her report here. Then, I want you to make the rounds and tell folks in this area to be on the alert. I've got a hunch Akala's only after us, but just to be safe. Maru, I want you to keep up your maintenance on the carts. No need to panic, but if matters should run awry, I want everyone ready to leave, understand? I'm going to relay the situation to our friends at the Mehane. As for you, I'd like you to go and graciously welcome our Gajasura guests. Any fights picked with you, you've got permission to finish. But I don't want no blood on your hands. Don't mean to make things complicated, but that's how it's got to be. I'll owe you one. Report back when you've got a handle on things, yeah? My webcam should be flipped. Why is it not flipped? There, because now when I look at chat, I'm looking into the game, and also the mic arm is coming out that. I think historically I have had it be that looking at chat is me looking off screen, but that... I don't know. I probably change my mind at the drop of a fucking hat, so... Whoopsie. You may notice that I have quests to do. I grabbed yesterday now's quests for all of the tribes so that I wouldn't miss out on the tokens or currency or whatever it is, the dailies. Oh, baby. Oh! Kick me in the gut, why don't you? I don't mind you jumping up on me, but at least do it nicely. Two this time. However will I cope? Oh yeah. Some of the stuff from Occult Crescent is really fucking cheap on the market boards right now. So say hello to one of the new mounts from Occult Crescent. I may not have access to it yet, But I have access to the market board. You sold a bunch early on before the prices dropped. Yeah, they're now ridiculously low. Welcome back. As you can see, we're at a bit of a deadlock with our favourite hippo enthusiast here. This is hardly the time to be glib, Turner. But rest assured that I am prepared to do all that is necessary in self-defense, even if it should be a swift and decisive offense. Hold on a moment. I'm angry, Ogle. When I think about what Akala's stolen and who he's hurt, I start boiling like afternoon soup. But skewering him ain't gonna solve the bigger issue. I say we talk first. See if we ain't so different after all. You too weak for Akala. Leave. Leave Hippos. Go. You want us to leave Savannah? That ain't an option, and you know that. But if you've got such an hankering for our hippo carts, there is another way. You could always join us. Me and my associates, me and my people, we built this place to welcome us when nobody else would. So there ain't no version of this where we simply up and leave because you demand it. But you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what it's like to have no place to welcome you. To need to take care of your people, no matter what. That's why I don't want to fight you. Your people no place for home, but you protect people. You same as Akala. But Akala hit your people. Tell truth. You forgive no Akala. Like I said, I'm angry. No one messes with my family and gets away with it. That's why I want to settle things with you. Leader to leader, fair and square. Akala hits stronger than weak you. Akala win. Sure keen on violence, ain't you? When I say settle things, I'm not talking about a fight. I'm talking about a race. On hippo carts. If I win, I swear on my honor as a racer that I'll agree to your turn. Oh, sorry. If I lose, I swear on my honor as a racer that I'll agree to your terms. But if I win, you repent for what you've done, and you join us. Peaceably. Deal? You fool! Akala win race. Take hippos. Take wagons. You can try. We'll start the race from that harbour town right there and ride the high road all the way up past the quarry further on. Agree. Akala wait at town, but Akala wait not long. Well, he was more reasonable than I expected, but lest he decide to perpetrate any knavery, I shall keep a sharp eye on him. You want me to race, don't you? I ain't gonna go back on what I said, but I really shouldn't have called Akala out like that. Not because I think I'll lose, not on your life, but we had to crawl our way up from being nothing but reckless misfits. And now that we've made something of ourselves, I'm gonna ride the high road and blow whatever respect we earn to the wind. What's done's done, I guess. Now we just gotta focus on keeping things fair. Don't want Akala working a traverse around us. Not when everyone's futures are at stake. Damn it all, how are we supposed to make this work? What if the race were a sanctioned event? That's genius! An official hippo race between the Arca Sidara and the Gajasura. That'd be, well, Legendary! If we do that, not only do we stay legitimate, but we'd be hosting an event that everyone can enjoy. Like a festival. I know I said our racing days were over, but this is going to be one for the Chronicles. I'll show you a race you'll never forget. Alright, I'll have Ogle smooth things over with the Radiant Host while my associates spread the word about our upcoming scurry. Come and meet me in Yedlamad. Can't keep Akala waiting too long. Hey Zeal, how you doing? Good morning. Evening for me. Yes, indeed, UK. You're not ready. Akala ready. Akala no patience. Keep your armor on. We gotta wait for our audience to show up. Don't want to start without our kinsfolk cheering us on now, do we? Kins. Race. Battle. Not show off. No kins. Come on, Akala. Our kins are going to make sure both sides play fair. Besides, if you win, they'll officially be your kins, right? Fine. Akala accept kins. Speaking of which, I've got a proposition for you. Seeing as this race is going to determine the future of both our people, I'd like to declare it a cooperative effort. Only the two of us will be riding the track, of course, but my team's going to be backing me up from the sidelines. You're welcome to do the same if you'd like. Battle. Akala win alone. Akala strong. Is that so? Alright then. Let's talk. I want you to feed weed to his hippo. He'll get the munchies and he'll run off straight for Svanna. Meanwhile, I'll be at the quarry before, you know, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. I think it goes without saying that this race ain't just about the hippo riders. The whole island and all the people on it are counting on us to win this. So here's my plan. I'm going to give you a link pearl, like the ones me and my associates use. That way we can be in contact during the race. I'll have Maru and Gasa standing by at key points along the track so that they can give you updates on our progress. I want you to use that information to advise me during the race. Sound okay? Not to lay the pressure on or anything. I take full responsibility for how I ride. But just in case I lose my head, I want you to keep me focused. Chief Strategist, reporting for duty. I think I already lost my head somewhere, but I'll do my best. Oh, if you insist. Chief Strategist. You need strategery, I'm your guy. Thanks, pal. I'm counting on you. All that's left is getting Soria ready to run. Then there ain't nothing stopping us. She likes those bright colours. What do you reckon the chances are of a rainbow conveniently popping out of nowhere, eh? If only. I mean, it is raining. I made it, boss. Maru, what are you doing here? And sweating like Ogle in that Garja head. What happened? What's the matter? Nothing, boss. I brought you something for your race. It's weed. Soria goes wild for bright colours, right? So I used some of our leftover Galal to make a rainbow. Just throw this and she'll perk right up for sure. If this ain't a sign from the divinities, I don't know what it is. Maru, you hams ahead, you really came through. We're gonna win this thanks to you. I'll save this for just the right moment. Can't hit the ground running too hard after all. Keep that in mind when you're coaching me. Pacing's important for a race this long. Anyway, go on ahead to the goalpost over by the Giants' Goal grounds. I'll see you when I bring home a victory. Okay. I want you watching the high road round the Great Work. I'll fill you in on the details by Link Pearl. Is it going to be like a Chocobo race where I'm taking control? Or is it going to be one of those sections where there's like multiple rounds of conversation and I have to pick the right option? It could be either. quicker if I just travel here. Oh, I also did a couple of treasure maps. And I was able to get some things that I could sell from that and Bosnia, which is how come I've got more money now. And I was able to buy the horn for Phaethon, which is the, you know, the fiery Ixion that I really wanted. I wish he had some, like, flame effects going on, like how Ixion has thunder effects, but nah, he's still cool. I like him. Fiery horse. Fiery horse. And suddenly the weather's good. Teacher, we're already over here. Am I new to Final Fantasy XIV, or did another expansion come out? So... Am I new? Yes and no. I've been playing for years. I started playing when Heavensward just came out. But I played on and off. So I remember when you used to have cross-class skills. Like, you'd have to level White Mage in order to get Stone Skin. And then you could use Stone Skin on any other class and stuff like that. That got replaced with the roll actions. I remember when Flight was a new thing that was just getting added, but in Heavensward. I stopped playing. I didn't stream any of this. I stopped playing, came back when Shadowbringers was just about to come out. Played for a bit. Stopped playing, picked it up about 2 years ago. Didn't start streaming it, was playing on my old character, got to literally just finish Shadowbringers, like just did Shadowbringers the quest, but I'd been skipping all the cutscenes and dialogue since like end of Heavensward. Or like some early on in Stormblood, somewhere along those lines. Started this character February of last year, and we've gone through all of the MSQ, we've done all of the trials, all of the raids. I haven't done all the Savages, just because don't have to. Haven't done any of the Ultimates yet. Ultimates are the only thing that I have not touched at all. We've done every relic, which is why I am currently working on Resistance relics and Mandeville relics. And we are currently in post-Endwalker, with the hope being that I can get through Dawn Trail at this point before the next patch, I think, is probably more realistic than trying to keep Occult Crescent too much in mind, but the next patch, so I can try and get into Occult Crescent whilst it's still current. It seems that preparations at the goalpost are complete. Racers, are you ready? Citizens of Thavnair, I welcome you to the very first Hannish Hippo Hustle. Representing the Arca Sidara are our own Hippo Riders, Trina. And representing the Gadjasura, the mighty Akala. Racers, take your mark. Get set. Go! Akala win. Run. Run. Conquest for Akala. Akala's going to tucker out his hippo. Gajasura bastard pushing our precious hippo that hard. I'm so mad I'm sweating blood. The boss is eating dust, but the road's not looking too good up ahead. What's your call? Save your strength. The road's looking rocky. Right. We'll hold fast. Yeah, he's going to tire out his hippo. So we just need to hold on. And after his hippo goes all woozy, that's when you go full steam ahead. They're passing by the Great Work, and it looks like Akala's hippo might be reaching its limit. Not surprising, seeing how hard he's pushing it. Chances are good Akala's not going to take much more of a lead, but it's your call. Hold steady till the final spurt. Apparently my gloves are, didn't get glamoured. Loud and clear. We'll bide our time for a grand finish. But yeah, you are, by the looks of it, catching up. You, fast! More fast! Run, run, run! Slacking on those glams. The issue is that I've set up I was messing about with a new glam for Gunbreaker. The two hippo carts are hurtling toward the goal at breakneck speed. Give your final piece of advice to Turner for the win. Boss, give it everything you've got. Unleash the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. I've been waiting for this. Get ready to see lightning. Soria, let's go. Jesus. Are you sure that there wasn't cocaine in those? Won by a snout. Who won? Who was it? Akala win? By a hippo's nose, the victor of the Hannish Hippo Hustle is Turner! The old school victory fanfare. Yeah, boy. Akala lose? Why? You trick Akala. No, we didn't trick you. We just know our hippos, that's all. What they like, how much they can take. Hippos are living, breathing creatures, same as us. Having to run that hard for that long, all while pulling an heavy bloke behind you. No mystery why your hippo melted its grease. Hippo slow because grease melt. Akala understand. And I did say that your people could support you during the race, but you insisted on riding alone. They're your battle brothers, aren't they? I bet they would have loved to help. I might be in charge, but I've got to rely on others to protect my people. I'm not hesitating. You can only do so much by yourself. By yourself. Of course, trusting folks enough to do that didn't exactly come naturally to me neither. Me and my people, we used to be nothing but a bunch of misfits. We didn't really belong nowhere, and no one really wanted us around in the first place. People like us ain't got a lot of options. You either scrape by on the outskirts, so that you ain't a bother, or leave for someplace new and hope that you can prove yourself somehow. But it ain't gotta be like that. You can be you and still build trust and contribute something positive, however small. Misfit or no, at some point you realise that none of us are really so different. So, I believe in you, Akala. I think if no good races like us can turn things around, you and your people can too. You ain't gotta conquer nothing to protect your brothers now. A deal's a deal, right? Join us. Become a hippo rider and see where the cart takes you. Akala, your words understand. Akala, you, not different. But Akala Gajasura, this bad. Our tribes may have their differences, but as for you and me, that's just a racing rivalry now. And everyone watching saw how hard you were trying for your people. Might take some time, but I think you'll find a place here. So what do you say? Come back with us to Svana? Akala, accept. Thanks for the stellar advice. Couldn't have done it without you. Ain't no way I was losing, but I'm glad this didn't end with Akala's people being chased off the island. I got a little tense when a bunch of Gajasura came walking in, bold as brass, but I explained the situation and everyone's being good-hearted about it. It's like I said, none of us are so different. But enough about that, people loved the race. When was the last time I rode like that? Wind against my face, crowds cheering me on. Now that I think about it, might have been a first. Next time the Hanish Hippo Hustle rolls around, we should start it from Svana. Or finish it. Or both. Think of the traffic we'd get at the Mehene. Who knew thinking up new ways to excite other folks would be so, well, exciting? This, all of this, is thanks to you. I can't thank you enough. Alright, let's get to it. Our brand new racing gate ain't gonna build itself after all. Ooh, I like the colours. The place looks a lot more alive now. Not just because there's more people in it, but there's less like dead space. In commemoration of the historic race between the representatives of the Arcasadara and the Gajasura peoples, and the peace thereby achieved, a gate has been erected in Svana. The Hippo Riders' reputation has soared to legendary heights. Backed by their diligence and hard-earned skills, Turner and her associates will continue to spread joy throughout all of Thavnair. You have achieved sworn reputation with the Hippo Riders. They sell more shit! Ride or die, bitches. But there should still be... yeah, there's still one more rank up. Okay. Hippo Cart Horn. Yeah. More mounts for the Mount God. And now let's head to Best Way Burrows. Gaming Way! Could you join us for a moment after? My survey of Best Way Borough's morale indicates that the situation is as we suspected. Though our efforts have reached the majority of wayward ways, a few yet remain in the doldrums. The erstwhile counselling way first among them, of course. I've stretched my imagination ever so hard for dreams that might inspire them, but nothing's concrete has come to mind. Why am I suddenly doing this voice? I propose that we examine the issue of their personal motivation more closely. Per living way, they were once passionate about their work, after all, and my voice has changed drastically since the last line of dialogue I had. Dear God, can after not keep a voice for more than 5 minutes? We cannot change the fact that the people of Aetheris won't be coming to live on the moon. Reaching out to them is hardly beyond our means. There's naught stopping us from utilising our Ashenford Associates' communication skills to aid mankind, albeit remotely. Thus making their old dream their new dream. But what sort of station would be suitable? One for sharing useful information with the people of Aetheris? Perhaps a station that individuals could contact with questions? Yes, turn Counselling Way into an agony arm. That would be quite similar to not Counselling Way's previous job. How would people contact us, though? You might use one of those Garlean radios, as long as you refrain from any mind-bending schemes. Everyone and their minions seems quite happy to call me via Link Pearl. Link Pearls, I'd entirely forgotten. That would have made finding you and Aetheris a lot easier. Unfortunately, to purchase dedicated link pearls for the entire population of the star would be stretching our budget rather thin, to say naught of the nightmarish logistics of distribution. Aww. Okay, then just take one representative with a link pearl to each of the major civilizations. You might use one of those Garlean radios. But then only the Garleans could do it. But, okay. Schemes sound bad. But radio sounds intriguing. Tell me more. And you can truly hear distant voices through the tiny box. Incredible. I mean, it's basically just a link pearl set up to a speaker, isn't it? Like, there's already an established technology to, like, have voices travel incredibly long distances. It's just the fact that that was personal rather than public. We simply must find a way to transmit to these radios. For science! Eyes on the project objectives, please. That said, I quite agree. If Garlemald has such technology, it's likely the Sharlians have studied it, if not invented similar devices of their own. If so, they may have shared its secrets with Living Way. No doubt Inventing Way will have thoughts on the matter as well. I leave the technical details in your capable paws, Managing Way. In the meanwhile, I should like to have a chat with the Laporit formerly known as Counselling Way. Please join me in inviting them to join us. Okay. Where are they, though? They're all the way over here by the Watcher. Okay. Unless I accidentally hit my spacebar. Oh, something else that I have done is finished off Labyrinthos' Shared Fates. I don't need to be in here. It's very fitting that I'm using a UFO on the moon. You want me to assist the people of Aetheris remotely? Construction of the station is underway as we speak. Using the magic known as a radio, we can transmit all manner of noises across space, and darker space. For instance, music. Goodness, we could share my music, couldn't we? Do not bother the people of Aetheris with that noisome beeping. If we are to employ this station of yours, surely there are myriad better uses. Better than music. If you ask me, many of Aetheris' people lost loved ones during the final days, did they not? We could let them know that they're not alone. Or, purely as an example, you understand, we could use our unique vantage point to describe cloud formations. Ooh, I don't follow. With that information, those on the ground could more accurately predict incoming storms, forestalling ill-fated forays. You truly are an expert in helpfulness. Those things never would have occurred to me. I suppose I can come and look in on you once you've completed your facilities. Clearly, someone needs to tell you where you've gone wrong. Please do. I can hardly wait for you to join us. Together, we shall create radio noises like no one has heard before. Though, I suppose we need to actually finish the station first. We'll see you there, in the Dreaming Workshop. Make sure to come. Kinky rabbit. If I do, will you listen? What is the disease rabbits get that gives them red eyes? Is it Mipor? I think it's got an X in it. Myxomatosis. Yes. Why do I know that, given that I have never had a rabbit as a pet? I don't know. I can't. I just know things sometimes. Is construction proceeding apace? We are on schedule. I've been awaiting After's return. I trust you'll have little difficulty producing equipment to the vague and mysterious specifications provided by our Charlian correspondents. If I may. We will require a soundboard. I'm told that this device adjusts the signal produced by the microphone and can even produce sounds of its own. These are the materials. I assume you can manage the rest on your own. Should you require additional supplies, as always, our stocks are with the Dreaming Supporter. I'll be occupied in ensuring that no one shocks themselves into a stupor whilst assembling the booth, but Dreamingway should be free to collect your finished creations. Oh, whoops. I got confused who was speaking. My bad. I'm also trying to I got a new blanket today. I got a new blanket. Which I've just realised is another thing that will stop nicks from showing up on camera. Whoops. So maybe I should stick with the Twitch glitch one. I mean, it is reversible. The other side is the opposite with black ghosts, so that one could work as well. But then it's getting her black fur on the white side, and what am I making? Radio equipment. Oh yeah, that's right. I should also do my custom deliveries today or tomorrow. Yeah. Radio equipment. There it is. I should also unlock the other part of the moon. Cosmic exploration. Although that's just another farming, grinding thing that unlocks for me off stream, really. This equipment is incredibly delicate, you say? Well, I suppose I don't need to shake the box, strictly speaking. Ooh, it's even weirder than I expected. I shall exercise the utmost caution as I hop over to Managing Way with this. I promise. So we basically just turned him into a DJ. So this is a radio. Won't you dream of a brighter future with us? If you wish to speak to my people, the microphone is yours. Alright, listen here, you little bitches. I've always wished to speak with the people of Aetheris. I must ask, do you think my voice will reach them? Of course it will. That's the magic of radio. Very well. I would like to assist with this station, if you're still amenable to the idea. You won't find a harder working way, I promise you that. They've got a proper little workforce going, don't they? And with that, the broadcasting station is complete, though we might want to check whether it's working. We never did decide on the content of our first message. For once, I fear I'm at rather a loss. That's where our newest way comes in. Take it away, my friend. Me? There must be something you'd like to share with the people of Aetheris in honor of this special occasion. And now for the shipping forecast. I love the carrot juice cups. Test, test. People of Aetheris, are you there? Can you hear me? Far away as I am, all the way from the moon. I hope I can be of use to you. I hope I can tell you something you didn't know before. I hope that in your darkest moments, I can lift your spirits. But perhaps I should start from the beginning. For so long, We awaited your arrival on the moon. 'Twas to be under the most unfortunate circumstances, to be sure, yet that only increased the determination with which we set to our preparations. In the end, of course, the final days were averted. The moon was no longer needed. We were no longer needed. Make no mistake, we're glad for your fortune. If you are happy, we are happy. But for many of us, myself included, this marked an end to our very reason for being. Until some Leporites dared to dream again, to show us that there is always hope, so long as we reach for each other. Should you ever lose sight of your dreams, I hope you'll remember that you are not alone. We are here, and the future is a dream we all share. And now, the weather. That concludes our inaugural broadcast. Thank you, one and all, for listening. From the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of Leporit kind, I wish you the very best. Was it too long? It felt awfully short. Do you think they could hear well enough? So begins the invasion of the Leporites. Yes, they're coming. They're coming for our carrots. I suppose we shall never truly know our audience. But if my voice reached even one person, that's enough for me. That is my dream. The invasion of the Leporites makes me simultaneously want to watch, what was it, Mars Attacks and The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. You may raise their faith in you further, but they'll sell me more shit. Oh wait, no, this is shit. That's not who I needed. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing that right now. That's an off-stream thing to do. The Moonhopper. Yeah. 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 Give me all of the mounts. Does that mean that I get the baby ear fuckers from the Omicron? Gimme 'em. The Mizmevs, or whatever. Or the Mermizv. The baby. Baby jellyfish. Give me the baby jellyfish. Give me the baby jellyfish. I want it. Reports from behind the counter indicate dragons have achieved social integration with other customers. This is ideal. Have you seen them in Elysian? They're flying again. Goodness, I'm so happy we could help. To my eye, it looks as if we're at least as popular as The Last Stand now, albeit with a more diverse clientele. I'll let you be the judge of that, though. Shift protocols engaged. Ugh, I love the smell of carrot coffee in the eternal twilight. And look at all the contented customers enjoying our cuisine. It's more than I could have ever imagined when I proposed this idea. This unit is struggling to generate areas for improvement. Are all cafe objectives now complete? I suppose you could say that, though it's a strange way to view one's accomplishments. Why do you ask? In accordance with the directive to all Alphatron registered units to live, this unit's mission is to assist fallen civilizations in reclaiming lost hope through simulation, soup, or other means as necessary. It appears this has been accomplished. If so, then this unit must complete its performance evaluation immediately. Performance evaluation? That sounds dreadfully dull. Rather, yes. Nevertheless, this unit must adhere to standard operating protocol and analyze the results of our cultural preservation efforts. Evaluation results will determine whether this unit may continue to embrace the familiar inertia of the current mission. If all potential objectives have been fulfilled, it will once again consign itself to hibernation. Allied units may wish to know the interim evaluations indicate the latter result is likely. This unit has collected more than sufficient data proving that, with the appropriate stimulation, even despairing life forms may once again hope. No further research on this subject is required. logically speaking, to continue along the current trajectory would be a waste of time. Oh, you are really fluffing my fur right now. It's like you weren't even listening to my lectures. Plural! We are finally at the point where we can operate this cafe without one civilization or another reinventing the apocalypse. And you want to kick the bucket? Come a little closer and I'll kick it for you. This unit gently reminds the screeching life form that Omicron decision-making algorithms do not prioritize emotion. Well, they should. This mission's never been about experimental data, and you know it. Waste of energy, my furry arse. Our feelings matter to the Dynamis. They matter to the universe. So why don't they matter to you? It's a good question. This unit does not know what to tell you. Fine, be that way. See if I care. This unit will proceed to base Omicron to back up unit data before shutdown protocols initialize. Additional personnel changes may follow, but Stigma 4 will minimize disruption to cafe operations. This unit acknowledges the non-zero possibility that it may return, but at least for the moment it leaves the last dregs in your capable appendages. Farewell. Have we moved past the anger stage yet? I don't know. No, this is horrible. We can't let N7000 enter permanent hibernation. What will the cafe do without it? What will I do? Alright, I'm calm. Now, how do we stop it? Even if we can catch up to it before it reaches base Omicron, I doubt it will want to speak to me after my outburst. You go alone then. I'll take the time to gather my thoughts. Request for personal data acknowledged. Scanning recent automatic transmissions of internal processing logs. Unit N7000 accessed the logical process records of SIR and has been engaged in analysis and projections related to the same. The operational protocol governing these peculiar actions cannot be determined at this time. This unit wishes you pleasant speculation. Request for location data acknowledged. Searching base Omicron monitoring logs. Sensors detected N7000's progress toward the Fallow portal. Calculations indicate that it will have proceeded past the empty portal toward the limits of Ostracon Decahexe by the time code at which the organic life form can catch up. Okay. What's past the empty... Oh wait, isn't this the one that we took to get to the last dregs? No. No, it is not. Oh no, this is where we first found N7000. Looking at the tree. signals of an allied unit are not unwelcome. Why did you follow this unit here? Well, you made several concerning comments. Why did you come here? You made several concerning comments. This unit has been analyzing logs originating from M017 alias Stigma 1 alias Sir for some time now. As Unit M017, it repeatedly paid visits to the Tree of Life to analyze internal projections. The impetus for these actions were logged as personal reasons. In other words, when its protocols were insufficient, M017 came here to ponder its next course of action. This unit had hoped the tree might provide data of use in its current dilemma. No such data has been forthcoming. In retrospect, there is a non-zero possibility that M017 did not find what it was looking for here either. This unit cannot conceptualize actions outside of its original programming that might lead to its desired conclusion. All simulations of upcoming performance evaluation end in shutdown. The precise value of a future in which this unit carries on operating the cafe in service of our myriad patrons remains unknown, and thus cannot be mathematically compared to that of a successful evaluation. Nevertheless, this unit's preference remains constant. Does this preference, then constitute a logical fallacy that must be discarded? Inconclusive. As a military information and operations specialist, this vacillation is most distressing. Further review of the objective reality the cafe has restored hope to multiple once-fallen civilizations is not helping. Paradoxically, it appears to make this unit's memory overflow even worse. Why not listen to your heart rather than your calculations, for once? Alright, just call me out as autistic, why don't you? That is impossible. As a mechanical life form, this unit does not possess any such vulnerable organs, physically or metaphorically, unless... Unless allied units were correct, and this unit is truly not the same unit it once was. If all life forms reborn in Ultima Fall, including this unit, possess infinite potential in a mathematical sense. Generating new projections, multi-sim mode initialized, shutting down auxiliary functions and overclocking processes. Shh. This unit is processing. Warning, processing load critical, cannot accept additional inputs. Failure to step away from the unit may result in severe burns. Though its state is worrisome, it seems that you'll be unable to interrupt N7000's processing queue at present. Perhaps you should bring Jammingway along to kick its bucket. Legitimately, okay. Legitimately, they want me to go and get Jammingway. Suddenly yawns. Sup? All of this worrying's exhausting, not to mention the yelling. Apologies for that, by the by. But did you find N7000? Is it alright? I recall seeing this Sir in the logs. It did seem to have individualistic tendencies, now that you mention it. You would know its personal reasons better than I, of course, but it would not be the first nor the last to agonize over its existence. The choice to live is not made just the once, after all. No, I don't think it's a leap, or even a bunny hop, to assume that M017 struggled with much the same questions of purpose and potential that plagued N7000. The Omicron have very little experience with the self-doubt that comes from facing an indeterminate future. Very little experience with emotions in general, really. Doesn't it bother you that we've seen no changes to Elysian that could be attributed to N7000 and the other staff? The Dynamis reacted to my very first burst of hope and has reliably taken form for every civilization, but not them. Our Omicrons do have emotion. Of that I'm certain. For the future, specifically. Hope for the future, specifically. Precisely. Should our N7000 then not have the power to shape Dynamis in spades? Look how successful it's been. Personally, I believe it does have that power. But every time it feels a little something, it shoves that emotion away under a pile of numbers and refuses to think about it ever again. It needs to allow itself to feel that joy, that hope, for it to grow and blossom in Elysian. None of this waste of energy or time to die bollocks. Honestly, does it ever think about anyone else? Mark my words, I'm going to gather every scrap of joy we've created here and shove them right down its stupid throat. We'll need to be quick if we want to prepare before N7000 finishes processing and finds a way to infuriate me even more. We're certainly not allowing it to shuffle off its metal coil, today or ever. First, though, we'll need to choose a recipe, one guaranteed to remind it of what we've accomplished here at the Last Dregs, and give it a taste of the boundless happiness yet to come. I'm certain Stigma 4 can dig something out of its database that can represent our culinary achievements without proving an electrocution hazard. Wait just a moment. Time for the Path of Exile reveal trailer. Enjoy. Oh, I'm legitimately just waiting here. Okay. Here we are. Hey, Stigma. Thrusters disengaging. N7000 not detected. Awaiting promised explanation. It's quite a long story. Circumstances acknowledged. N7000 logs transmitted to central database confirm the accuracy of managerial report. Conclusions reached by N7000 also confirmed accurate. Operational protocols are absolute. Completion of mission necessitates permanent hibernation. I don't think I'll ever understand your culture's obsession with productivity. However, running in multi-sim mode for prolonged periods poses unacceptable risks to hardware. Immediate intervention recommended. Aha, not quite the sympathetic response I was looking for, but it'll do. As for your intervention, I propose the presentation of a delicious dish that will bring N7000 back to its senses. What do you think it would like? Oil. Invalid input. Preferences are irrelevant to mechanical life forms. What N7000 requires is refrigerant liquid. A cooling beverage, then. I think we can manage that. Can you search your database for local ingredients we might use? N7000 always seemed to know what it was doing, so I've never bothered learning where anything is. Auxiliary information evaluated. Nevertheless, request acknowledged. Scanning database. Gaseous matter suitable for condensation and subsequent ingestion contained in ovular ore samples in Ostracon Tria. Approximate coordinates 30, 9.5, 2.5. Wonderful. You're a natural at this. Managerial praise is unnecessary. Scanning the database is well within standard operational protocols. Production of vital liquids such as refrigerant and oils is also standard protocol for a logistic matrix. However, cafe operations have repeatedly demonstrated that standard chemical formulae are insufficient impetus for an alteration of dynamis. That is where cafe management must intervene. Allied Unit N7000 is depending on you. Do not fail. Don't you worry, Stigma 4. We would never let our allied units down. I leave the procurement of the primary ingredient to you. In the meantime, I'll see what else might be mechanically digestible around here. N7000 coordinates confirmed. Subject remains immobile. Retrieval unit will be dispatched to Ostracon Decahexy momentarily. Okay, so they're going to go and pick him up. And they want me to go and get methane eggs. Methane or methane. Let's call the whole thing off. Like aluminum and aluminium. Methane egg. Alright then. That's the flavor text. Just alright then. Alright. And by the looks of it, yeah, I need to head to the last drag, so we'll just run there. Or fly there. Not quite high enough. Dare say Stigma 4 will be dragging N7000 back here any moment now. Did you find the gassy whatsits? Emissions ahoy! Now we just need to condense this. Perhaps shake it up with some other bits and bobs for the proper cocktail experience? It's green. Emergency override command prompt. Execute chug dot command. You have a command that makes them chug. Chug, chug, chug. Beverage protocols initiated. Please wait. The last drags. This unit would like to register its confusion. You miserable sack of sockets. Bolt head. Weird looking fork. I'll kick your bucket into the next galaxy, you... Ah, yes, this unit remembers now. Dialogue with the screeching lifeform had reached an impasse, so it withdrew to organize its thought processes in peace. This unit became trapped in a processing loop and overheated, but temperatures are now nominal, as your civilization would say. Woo. So you're feeling better then? That's the best news I've heard all day. No thanks to you. This unit's circuits are still somewhat muddled. Reviewing event log for flags associated with mission to live. Hey, Quizzled, how you doing? Just in time for Abyssos. Results of recalculated projections located. Proceeding to Elysian to confirm. You could at least explain yourself. It sounds like it's expecting some change to the Dynamis. What sort? I've no idea. After it. Stigma 4's logs confirmed N7000 came this way. Make haste! Or cutscene. Make cutscene? Make cutscene also works. Oh, it's the trees. A forest. Did N7000 do this? Full of weird ass fucking trees. You owe us a very thorough report. Affirmative. As you may have detected, since the birth of Elysion, this unit's self-determination algorithm has been in conflict with its core protocols. This unit has been surpassingly difficult. This issue has been surpassingly difficult to resolve. The cooling solution that you made, however, enabled this unit to arrive at a conclusion. It is confident in the results of its performance evaluation. First, a thought experiment for allied units. How has this unit transformed the landscape of Elysian, despite its nature as a replicated mechanical life form? Your nature doesn't matter. Here, now, you are alive. This future was always possible, now you've made it real. No, you are alive. Johnny's alive?! Though the dead are gone, what they left behind lives on in the realm of infinite possibility. A pleasing analysis, indeed. This unit regrets not having seen the beauty in it earlier. Thank you, After. This unit will keep your words close to its heart. In the history of the universe, countless possibilities have gone unfulfilled, but it is an error to thus consign them to the realm of the impossible. All the Dynamis requires is that we ask, what if? While sentient life forms remain to ask that question, to dream of unrealized futures, this unit cannot agree with the EA's conclusion that the end of the universe is inevitable. Our data proves miracles happen. Took you long enough? Honestly, you gave me quite a fright with that shutdown nonsense. Interesting. Would you miss this unit if it were gone, Jammingway? Jammingway? Requesting acknowledgement of warm and fuzzy feelings. Never in a billion years, Bolt Brain. Denied, denied, denied. God damn it. like a married couple. Although, you know, usually when you're talking about a mechanical lover, people might bring up a rabbit. So it's an interesting role reversal there. In any case, this unit recognizes the role the Alphatron star played in cutting the futures of many civilizations short. Together with allied managers, the Omicron have restored hope to some such civilizations and assisted in developing Elysian to its current state. The star now teems with life, some of it newly born. Calculations may say that this is sufficient to fulfill this unit's mission, but this unit disagrees. What we have accomplished thus far is a significant step toward a new future for the Omicrons, but not the last. This unit believes in infinite possibilities, beyond the projection capabilities of even Stigma 4. Alongside our allies at the last dregs, we must continue to make them real. We shall atone, and we shall live. A worthy purpose, if you ask me, which you ought to, given I'm still your business partner. Gladly acknowledged, Jammingway. Come to think of it, we've never toasted our achievements, or shared a drink at all. What kind of cafe managers are we? I brought some refrigerant cocktail along with my normal supplies in case someone needed another wake-up call. What do you say we have a picnic? Cute. Last Dreg specialty carrot juice for us, of course. Never go anywhere without it. You know, when I proposed this idea, I was thinking of the cafes on Etheris, how the people inside smiled and laughed and spoke of tomorrow. We've been focused on providing our customers the same experience. Naturally, that's also what the Last Dregs is to us, isn't it? Affirmative. This unit would go so far as to assert that spending time with friends in this fashion is meaningful. Slurp. Aww. This sense of satisfaction is what organic life forms persistently term happiness, is it not? Was the best carrot juice I've ever had in my whole Leporit life. That raises several questions, but this unit will refrain itself in favor of thanking After once again for her assistance in its time of need. This unit apologizes for burdening you with additional shifts. I note that you've yet to apologize to me for the distress you've caused. This unit has been distressed multiple times due to unwarranted screeching from the hyperbole-prone life form, and thus considers us even. See if I save your sorry scrap metal ever again. Additionally, this unit would prefer that as business partners, we provide mutual assistance as a matter of course. That is what organic life forms means by partnership, is it not? So long as you hold up your end of the bargain, we're going to keep the last dregs open until the very end of the universe. And beyond. No universe is ending on our watch. Cute. And now I should be able to get their mount. And I am fully caffeinated. That's the mending unit. Where's the vending? There's the vending. New Mizv. All of the mounts. Although now I need to get rid of mounts. Oh no. I have too many mounts. I can get rid of the Chocopokur. I can get rid of the Falcon. I can get rid of the couch because I kind of hate it anyway, to be honest. There we go. Go with that. Fuck off, Torgal. Is there a better way to do this in order to get the things that I actually want? Yes. A lot of Fenrir and a lot of Phaethon. And Elthers. Okay, yeah. Such a little cutie. And I'm right there inside it, minified and flying. I kind of want a mount that is just like a Peter Pan style flight. I know that the Dawn Trail Extreme mounts are wings, but like I kind of just want like a trail of stars behind me, like pixie dust style. I do know that there is a mount. There's two mounts that I know we can get that I really want. By the time that we start Dawn Trail, and they're from the Criterion Invariant dungeons. And one is from the Sildine Subterrane, because it matches the minion that I have loved of the Sponge Silky. And the other one is from the island, Alolil Island or whatever it is. I don't know. But they're the rewards for doing every possible path. Because there's like 12 different paths for the variant dungeons, I think. That is purely going off of the Cider Spider video that I watched a while back. So, take that with a pinch of salt. I've never actually done a variant or a Criterion dungeon. I don't even know what the difference is between the two. But it is now time to jump back into Pandæmonium. Abyssos raids. What do we reckon? Maybe queuing in as a healer will be alright. We can try it. Oh, wait, the quest will be from Labyrinthos, won't it? Yeah. Where am I going? What am I doing? It's this one, yeah. Claudine. Eyeball. Okay. Creepy. I mean, we just killed... Oh, I have attempted Asphodelos 4 Savage. But I did not beat it. I attempted it. Got to second phase and then kept dying because the party I was in kept failing at towers. But yeah, I tried to do it in order to get the mount or minion or whatever it is that it gives. I don't know if that's how you get Demi Phoenix. But I know I've seen the Phoenix mount. I know that it's not from the last one, so it would make sense if it was from the Asphodelos tier, given that you fight Phoenix in that tier. After I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers. And I must say... Professor Claudine, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Ah, yes, of course, my apologies. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, with a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides containing the memory of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandæmonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Oh, that's something else I've done since last Final Fantasy stream. La Hebrea is the position on the convocation for the ancient most gifted with creation magics. So La Hebrea just has the strongest creation magics. So it's not necessarily that La Hebrea as a position is responsible for Pandæmonium, but La Hebrea likely has created many of the things that are in Pandæmonium. So, makes sense that they'd also be in charge of it still, but, like, the reasoning why is different. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Themis and Erechthonios, was sufficient to restore order to the circle of Asphodelos. But the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandæmonium, a presence yet stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That's the issue at hand, is it not? Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole, and indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. That can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us? Or will After grace us with her protection? I'm afraid she's more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rusinard. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandæmonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion, in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloguing the ancient creations. You can't mean... Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and a pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. Is it going to be Sid? Is it somehow going to be Sid? Because he's always involved. I apologise for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudine tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he's been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he'd spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the Professor's been able to capture its etherical yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seemed to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, After, it may be best to return to Pandæmonium, as Professor Claudine suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Travelling to Pandæmonium requires you to pass through Elpis, yes? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandæmonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the Ancients, it's that they have kept very thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant. Delving into these records may shed light on creatures After is yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only her strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. I mean, I've kind of been getting direction from Themis and the other one, whose name I've forgotten. Legitimately, I have forgotten their name. Whoops. Ah! No, it was like long Greek sounding name, but I don't remember. For some reason, my brain just keeps going back to like Asphodelius, but I know that's not fucking right. Because Asphodelius was just the first circle that we cleared. For some reason, that's all my brain is returning to me. Because my brain is mush. Hey, Themis. You seek records of Pandæmonium's creations. Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. I should not be surprised we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. Oh, as should we, for I've undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandæmonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Erechthonios' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos whilst I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, though he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hands. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it shall not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he's agreed to meet us near the noose to Pandæmonium. Is that how you pronounce that? Noose? Or is it Neus? It keeps coming up with how to pronounce it in Spanish. But okay, it's in many languages, apparently. Okay, apparently it is noose. I was right. Do I now have the barista at the edge of the universe? Yes, yes I do. I like that title. Yeah. Where am I actually going, by the way? Okay, here. As I pondered our expedition into Pandæmonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Hebrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Erechthonios were both two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself, it's more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandæmonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they've all been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight into the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of La Habrea. Sup? My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you're conducting an investigation of Pandæmonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandæmonium was built directly under Elpis. That's a good question. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first, I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited, information, I cannot but help that the Academia in Ida would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we've asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandæmonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandæmonium were sent from Elpis. Yet, as the years passed, interests changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis's paradoxically drew the attention of Pandæmonium's researchers. That's quite the change, and in fact almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the Chief Keyward, and he's taken it upon himself to step into that role. So, if Pandæmonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I know not what you're suggesting, but the Keywards also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible, although I admit as of late their communication's been somewhat sporadic, but we recently received a report from one of the Keywards stating that all is well within Pandæmonium's halls. Really? And you're certain the Keyward sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you the Words did their true diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining Keywards is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain that we must return to Pandæmonium with haste. Cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more Keyward to puppet. Regardless, they've tipped their hand, and we'd be remiss to leave Erechthonios at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. He seems to be fine. Maybe. Oh yeah, he's just practicing. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. Now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? I! There's something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix. That monster's locked away. That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now, there's no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Hebrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I've heard those words many times, the scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. But still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Hebrea. At last you move to keep up. Pity you remain behind, nevertheless. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to often her escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandæmonium's great experiment. Where's the affection I remember? Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you... Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I'm no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. Thank you. If you'd shown up a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Father. Papa. Daddy. And so there can be but one conclusion. La Hebrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the Convocation and the Words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Hebrea I know. You've met him, yes? Do you think he is capable of this? I mean, the version that we know is, yeah. La Hebrea is capable of far more than you know. Such devastation! This was not my intention. Is he? So, you believe La Hebrea to be a man of few scruples, if it brings his goals closer in reach. That alone should be enough, let me assure you. La Hebrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be the one to let emotions stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandæmonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. La Hebrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandæmonium. We can safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with compassion. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos, one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Ericthonios' side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the van? Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. And we have access to the 5th circle. Sweet. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, I've seen this. I think. Maybe I've seen the extreme. That is not a carbuncle. But I think he has similar animation tells to like Dahu. Because he's the same rig. Yeah, maybe I've not seen this fight. What I had seen was something like this around a massive fucking pit. Oh. I see. Okay, that was easy. Go where there isn't an explosion. I understand. I understand. Sonic Howl. I don't care about your fan fiction. Sonic Boom was bad enough. Not that I ever watched it. I don't need that. Acidic Slap. Oh, there might be Big Pit after all. How convenient, there was just a perfectly square arena. Toxic Crunch. That sounds like a type of candy. Like toxic waste. Candies. or the worst cereal. I guess the big hole in the middle might have been the savage. Because there does not appear to be big hole in the middle. Oh, well, Quizzle just got eaten. Why all the Venus flytraps? And how do you go from that, which would surely, like, is perhaps a prototype to a behemoth, do you then end up with the cute and lovable carbuncle? Yes. Fill up my inventory with shit. Yes. Shit where I can buy things that I might actually want now. Although I think it's the Purgatory set that I really want. So, this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Ericthonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long. But I believe we can forego introductions. Unless I have misread you. So that's La Habrea. I'm all too familiar, Paragon. A charming appellation, but I'm afraid I hold no such position. No, I am La Habrea of the Convocation 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Eh? What is this? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether, and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and Erechthonios' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Erechthonios. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Erechthonios, wait. There's a question I must need ask first. If you are truly La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten as are you. That's not his real name. I have my answer. The La Habrea that I knew took pride in the convocation and would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. The real La Habrea? What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Oh! Imposter. You have no right to claim that form. That mask. Who the fuck are you? What? Who? Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Erechthonios, listen well. I am Hephaestus. And it is I whom you should call father. I mean, they do look a lot more alike than La Habrea and Erechthonios, that's true. What in the name of creation? We would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order. Elidibus, let us return to safety so you may provide it. Ah, that sounds more like the La Habrea I know. Damn it, I like Elidibus. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the Convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. Whatever your name is, you're still Themis to me. Such words are comforting, truly. I shall offer an explanation in time, but first let me assure you my choices were not born from animosity. In any case, we've pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Please, help him. Save him. Athena? As you are aware of by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azam and I detected irregularities in Pandæmonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure La Habrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azem nor I had ever made you in the flesh, you came with her highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to herself was out there amused Azem to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I've heard stories that Mistress Venar, who held the position of Azem previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that's enough for me to believe that you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea. Truth be told, I'd hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea? And why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandæmonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? So his skin tone has gotten lighter as he's gotten older. I mean, I suppose that can happen if you're not around light as much. Like, yeah, there'll be less of a build-up of melatonin, but that doesn't look like a tan. That looks like a race. Although I suppose he does have darker skin. Yeah. It's not quite as dark as Ericthonios, but he definitely has darker skin than Elidibus. I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandæmonium, including the fact that Azem and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the key wards stating research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestos' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of its existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine you'd suffer another to masquerade as one of the Convocation, not without good reason at least. As you well know, the name La Habrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire. All the emotions we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the rambling of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. Now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandæmonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandæmonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. We had a feeling. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Hebrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandæmonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Erichthonios' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azem and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from happening, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You've spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You've no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes After has stood against. After, is it? A being of such ether as I have never seen. What are you? She is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we've subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. La Hebrea can't be trusted. What was that you said about being an emissary? No, it's too soon to give up. That's what the Warrior of Light would say. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt La Hebrea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see there's merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even a La Hebrea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust you'll find the best way forward. Very well, then. In my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandæmonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness After's might and Ericthonios' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavour is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandæmonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you are even more tedious than I remember. Come find me when you're finished. Daddy issues. Ericthonios is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray, lend an ear to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. Meow. You do have my gratitude, or fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywards did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world. They don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephæstos' secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried in Pandæmonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephæstos would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quick he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think? Does the La Habrea you know have any regard for the lives of others? Or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? He always was a man who worked from the shadows. He once used my ally as a vessel for his own twisted ends. I have no idea what he might be like in this age. He once used my ally as a vessel. What would possess him to do that? Even for La Habrea, such an act would be a black mark against him if it were made known. Can't imagine how much your ally suffered. But it is plain there's much to consider. Thank you. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion when he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandæmonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be regaining control of Abyssos. Although I am loath to admit it, he would know more about these depths than any of us, and seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. running and running and running and running and running and running and running. Ericthonios appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Asm. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I've ever seen, even among the countless concepts I've observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Asm never ceases to surprise. The previous Asm was much the same, and taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourselves in this manner, the true danger of Asm's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. Emmett Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The Chief Keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they've been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they've been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He's left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemony, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there's something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say that's because she's already been twisted into a hemitheos, doubtless against her will. After Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Ericthonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Bombastic side eye. Grump and Grumpus. The issue I have is because I've got management experience. I look at stuff that people do in management positions and just go like, that's obviously not a good idea because of this and this, which is, ooh. Oh, okay, we're already fighting the... whatever the fuck. The main person. Okay. Interesting. Hegemony. Ooh, that music though. Do we need to stand in them or not in them? Looks like not in them. Understood. Horos Ixu. Okay, so that's either cardinally from the boss or just to its side. Oh wait, no, they indicate. Okay. I'm just blind because I'm spending more time reading than recognizing animations. Scream all you like, your gods can't hear. Fierce is done. Transmission? Colosseum North. Oh. I see. Okay, that's not that bad then. Yeah, thankfully no one died, but I did fuck him up a little bit. And he then took a tank buster. So, you know. Probably still not the happiest outcome. So basically, just be diagonal. Oh, never mind. I didn't realize it was going to be attacking from both sides. That's a my bad. This on release was so manic, I can guess. I like the floor. The floor is cool. Oh yeah, this is my summoner gland now. The way. Rather than, you know, the gimp suit. That's gonna get flipped. That's also going to get flipped. Never mind, doesn't matter. Never did grab that other drink, did I? But it is like 5 minutes to midnight. And that's only the second. That's only the second raid of this tier. Yeah, I think I may have to call it. Unless these guys want to stick around and go for the next one. But even then, going through the cutscenes and dialogue and stuff, that's still going to take a while. No, I think I'm going to have to call it because I've got work tomorrow. And I might actually have to do some stuff tomorrow. Oh, actually having to work? Ugh. It should be a quick unlock for the next, if you remember. We can see. We've won! The keyword's sealed away and alive this time. La Habrea can't deny us now. Our plan was a success. I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away, and now you've no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have the right of it. I'm not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, ether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemetheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue. As for that, there's one among you whose very presence put the others at risk. It would be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandæmonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. Fuck you, Dad. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can appraise his companions. That's something that After and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I'm inclined to agree. If my investigations made anything clear, it is that we are altogether greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act before that path lies close to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware destroying Pandæmonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandæmonium again. You are capable, that much is plain. Yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle. This is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erechthonios. I have already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish braying about saving them? merely a performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss... You would call me fool? You, who murdered your wife in service of your ambition? For the sake of the star, no doubt. I can hear it again. That voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus. Father. Mother. Oh, I love you so. And this voice will guide me to you. No. Listen not. Listen not, Erechthonios. Apologies. You taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Erechthonios, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. It was but a matter of time until it spilled forth. And that was when he fell into this spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Erechthonios himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywards had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else beside. Did you not feel the presence of another? As I thought, someone was trying to warn Erechthonios, but who? Could it have been one of the keywords? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Erechthonios past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy. And Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. There's time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, given us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandæmonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperos, Erechthonios is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear, La Hebrea. Pray, tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandæmonium is called Tartaros, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. Then I expect is where after shall shine. Her dissolute ether shall allow her to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. And the time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. Will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defences at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Erichthonios. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there is the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Erichthonios' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drive our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that feel it still greater pain. Did you mean to protect Erichthonios with your silence? So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child. And so you drove your own son over the edge. So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child. How dare you? No. Oh, hey baby. Yeah? What is it? Are you yelling at me because I'm not in bed? Is that what's up? Yeah, okay, you're yelling at me because I'm not in bed. I know. You're right. The blame for Erichthonios' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well. I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. It was a fair amount of dialogue, but only one quest to unlock. Yeah. Hey, baby. Hi. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. She's actually not been that needy today. She is just yelling at me because normally I'd be going to bed about this time, and she knows that she gets snuggles when I go to bed. Don't you? Yeah, I wore black today, so she's not turning up the best on camera, but look at those eyes. Mlems. Yeah. Oops. Who doesn't want snuggles? Very true. We love a void cat. We do love a void cat. Kitties know when you're off schedule. Oh, yes. Cats are creatures of routine. And if you fuck with that routine, you will know about it. The thing is, she'll let me do this, and she'll let me even scritch her tummy. She won't purr when I'm holding her like this. I don't think... She doesn't hate it, but I don't think she knows if she likes it. Okay, okay. Oh, it dangled in the... There we go. I'm sorry. Got tangled in my headset wire. The remaining keyword is Abyssos. She has served in Pandæmonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Confused empty brain. A little bit, yeah. She gets very confused, because I've got the, obviously, sitting desk, because I'm standing right now. She gets very confused when it's up, because it's not up as often as it's down. So she'll, like, be looking under it, like, where the fuck did the desk that I normally jump on go? Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He's hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Abyssos. shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for the interment, I've yet to think of a foolproof method. Interment shall not be necessary. From here I can sense Agdistis' essence, but it is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with hegemony. She's been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what mercy the underworld will be to her. Yeah, that was kind of a lot to unlock. The 7th circle. And no one is still here. And it is now past midnight. There are no other party finders for actual content. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to end it here. But we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, so I will hopefully, because I won't need to do any Allied Society stuff. We haven't really started anything. I mean, okay, I'll need to do custom deliveries, but that takes like 5 fucking minutes. You go from work straight into stream tomorrow, Eve. No worries. You'll at least be lurking, though. Ah, no worries. Don't worry about it. And if you're interested in watching it, like, I do upload stuff to the YouTube, or obviously there's the VOD on Twitch. I appreciate it's not the same, but it's there if you want to see how I react to shit. But yeah, hopefully we'll finish Pandæmonium tomorrow. Hopefully, because then I want to get started on the MSQ. I know there's still one more optional level 90 dungeon that I haven't unlocked. I think it's Smileton. I don't know, but I think it's Smileton. Which I have seen Cider Spider clear once, but I don't necessarily remember much about it. And I've never played it, but I think it's Smileton. Then obviously there's whatever gets unlocked from the MSQ. We've still got all of the optional trials and that storyline to do, which I don't know what that's going to be about, actually. And we've got the Alliance raids. So we've still got a bunch of stuff before we can go into Dawn Trail. And before we do go into Dawn Trail, I need to do the Viper and Pictomancer to level 90 quests. Well, I suppose that's just the quests, because they probably do role quests in Dawn Trail, don't they? But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a good one. Later.